Hello everyone, and ooh, new area. Welcome to End City and back to Let's Play Megaman Battlework 5. In the last part we got, we did stuff. Anyway, there's a subship cellar here, and that statue to my southwest, you can jack into to get right to where Dark Mega was fought, so there's a shortcut there. Hi, Rika. Ah, Rika, we're bumping into each other a lot today. I'm working. You can't just come and talk to me. What, you didn't mind talking before? I don't know what you're on about. Quit bugging me. Well, excuse me, comrade. What a grouch. I shouldn't have even bothered. Come on, Megaman, let's go. Okay. But that was a bit weird. Agreed. So let's go into the castle, except we can't. As this gentleman shall now explain, there's some problem with the communication systems because someone has apparently illegally accessed them. It's back in End Area 3, and we're obviously going to have to go check it out because we are our main character, and those must fix every problem in the world. 5 times, technically 6 if you count the GameCube platformer. So I'm just going to jack into here, go to End Area 2, and then actually cut back to End Area 3 because that's just a really long backtrack I don't feel like doing. And here we are. Somebody's there, Lan. It's Mr. Green Man. Searchman. Searchman? What's going on? Check the system, Megaman. It's been illegally accessed. Okay. It's a comm system, but it's completely fine. Maybe Searchman was fixing it? He could at least have said hello, instead of jacking out like he was running away. Oh well, no harm done. Let's get back to the castle. Right, let's go. So that was kind of pointless. And by talking to this guy, we now have access to it. Also, there's a sub-memory underneath these magazines that increases the number of subships you can carry. So now we can go on in. Sweet. Now I'm just gonna say right now, there's a lot of places you can jack into here that are just gonna get a lot of upgrades, but I'm gonna not talk about that at the moment, because I want to talk about that last thing I wanted to mention last part, but wasn't able to. Last part I was mentioning the, I showed off the double souls we got, and talked about Gyro Soul's counter Shadow Soul, but I wasn't able to talk about Napalm Soul's counter Tomahawk Soul. Tomahawk Soul requires a wood chip sacrifice, something like Lance would do. It's wood element, so it's weak to fire. It has Status Guard, which enables it, which, if I recall correctly, prevents it from getting any bad status ailments. The entire stage will be converted to grass panels when the soul is initiated, and Mega Man in Tomahawk Soul heals when standing on grass panels. When you're using a non-dipping wood chip on a grass panel, it'll double the chip's power, and the grass panel will dissipate after doing so. Its charge shot is the Tomahawk Swing, which covers a 2x3 area immediately in front of you, inflicting damage as wood damage equivalent to that. Let me restart that part of the sentence. That inflicts wood damage that is equivalent to 10 times your Buster rank plus 70. And its Chaos Unison Soul Charge shot is the Dark Lance, which hits the enemy back row for 400 wood damage, pushing all enemies forward. It's actually one of the few souls in Team Colonel that's more useful in its normal version than Chaos Unison. Though I can't say the same for its cousin that we're gonna see after this. Also, those of you who are playing Colonel are probably laughing their ass off as to who Rika's counterpart is. I'll get to that once we get to the next Liberation mission. Oh boy. Also, Gilgamesh? That looks exactly like Gilgamesh from Final Fantasy V. Only without the final dialogue. After all, we have to fight like men. And ladies! And ladies who dress like men! And then go, it's morphing time, and then have an awesome boss battle with Battle on the Big Bridge playing. I love Final Fantasy V. Anyway, first off, we're gonna have a new virus here, actually, I believe, right now. Woo Notes. They are wood-type, wood-elemental enemies, so heat is the best way to go about them. Though if you're me and you have a practical maxed-out Buster, it's honestly no big deal. The thing is with them is that you can damage them in one of two phases, when they're that little tree form there, or when the bush that has them is trying to attack you. However, when they're in the bush, as gross as that sounds, you cannot attack the tree, or stump, or whatever the hell that thing's supposed to be. So you need to keep that in mind, but they're not that easy, or hard, rather. And a chip I got in one of the previous computers, and here is it actually upgrades that I like to have in my folder, Airspin 2 and Mega Energy Bomb, so now I just have more damage in my folder in general. In terms of my folder, this is actually one of my best setups I've used throughout the entire series, really. Also, one thing I should mention is that in between parts, the computer that you can jack into back in the mission control to get to the Scilab HP, I talked to a certain program in there to get a link to Land's homepage. Can't let big fish out of his sight. Maybe it means the eyes come out? Well, that's mighty damn convenient. This looks like a data disk. Check it out, Megaman. It's a key to something. A key? For what? Wait a minute, there's text data in here too. I'll read it. Third ACDC, fourth square, there find the way to Orin. Open its center. I've heard a lot of those words before. We need to figure out what it means. And we got old key and text data. We'll have to read it over and figure out where to go. Right. Now, I already know where to go, but I do want to do two things here before I go off. I should have done the first one first, because there's an HP memory here I could have picked up, but I'm going to wait about a minute before doing so. In this room here, you can see that Japanese shogun-y fancy man sitting on the floor. He's actually not real, he's a computer. But he's also End City's homepage. And you can talk to a program in here to get a link to Land's homepage, just like we did with Yai, and all sorts of shortcut-y goodness. Actually, couldn't you do that? Yeah, you could do this in 4, and it was actually pretty useful in 4. And now let's go get that HP memory I missed like an idiot. And after this, we're actually going to be cutting back to ACDC Area 3, because that's where we need to go next. Also, I think End Area might be the only area in the series to have more than 4 areas, other than the Undernet. And there's the HP memory. And we're back here in ACDC Area 3, right here. If you count the entrance, this is the 4th square-shaped area. Look towards Orin, and here we are. 3rd ACDC, 4th square, there find the way to Orin. Open its sensor. In ACDC Area 3, go to the 4th square counted from the entrance. There find the way to Orin. Then open up its center. I guess this must be the place. I don't know if this is right or not, but let's try the key. Okay. Whoa. Lan. The door appeared because of the old key. Maybe let's try opening it then. It's unlocked. It's unlocked it, huh? Are we going in? If we go in without thinking, anything could happen. But we've come this far, we've got to. You're right. But we should make sure we're as prepared as possible before we go in. Yeah, they say providing is preventing. If we go in as soon as we finish getting it ready. Okay. So if you couldn't pick up on what they're saying, save your game. There's a temporary point of no return coming up that lasts about 5 seconds, but still. What's this? The space. Ah, the exit. Where am I? Megaman, look behind you. What? It's my house. You can't have come into the real world, can you? Maybe. It's ACDC Town, but there's something funny about it. Yeah, it looks like the cyber world. Like a digitized version of ACDC Town. This must be what Dad wanted to show us all. I guess so. Ah! Someone's coming! Excuse me, could you tell me... Wait, what? Huh? Huh? Well, that's a thing. Did she just say... Hub and LAN This is ACDC Town in the year we were born? It looks that way. But I can't see anything here that Regal would want. I'd say we need to have a good look around. I agree, but we better scout around a bit. It's down to you, Megaman. Okay. There's still viruses in here. You just need to talk to everyone, really. You can learn some good backstory stuff, like if you investigate Meilu's house, you'll find out that her father is Netopian, which means American. There's still viruses around, but... By the way, this is Gao. And apparently, he understands English. There's still viruses around. There's stuff you can counter for, like B-Tank EXs, but this is also a place where you can find holy panels. In case I haven't described those before, what holy panels are is that there are panels on the battlefield that have damage. Pretty useful for certain program advances and strategies, like against Pharaoh Man in the old days. And Meilu's gonna be born next month. Huh. And also, apparently the squirrel is this little girl in, the park has been this little girl's origin the entire time. I've had a brief look around, but all I figured out is that our family kept a dog. And at least we've seen ACDC Town as it was when we were born. That's pretty cool. True. So should we head back into the net? Yeah, let's go back to the house. Okay. Huh? Someone just came in from the net. What? Oh dear. Oh, there's a lot of them. Perfect. And by the way, that black guy is actually the doctor that put the dark chip in Megaman, so, let's get some revenge. Oh, sweet, sweet victory. Or soon to be a sweet, sweet victory, at least. What are we going to do, Lan? Those Nebula guys will tear this place apart. Even if it's before my time, this is still my hometown. I'm not gonna let Nebula rip it apart. We've gotta protect it, Mega Man. We will. And now we are on a search and destroy mission. Kill everything. However, there are some new viruses along the way. Including 2 in this battle. Powie EXs and Woonode EXs. If you haven't figured out the trend by this point, EXs are always going to be faster, stronger, better versions of the original viruses. Though in this case, they're actually easier because, my god, Django, I love you. I'm sorry if you guys don't like the fact that I'm abusing that chip, but I just love it so much. Mind you, I'm not the only person to do this. Certain people on Battle Network series Let's Plays love to abuse certain mega chips like Fireman, Airman, Flashman, a lot of good stuff to abuse. Plus, if they're gonna give it to me for free, why not use it, right? And another new enemy, Handy EXs. I do believe their bomb ticks down quicker, so be careful of that. However, with my Buster stats and Gyro Man charge shot, yeah, it's kind of unfair for them. I think I may have broken the game in terms of difficulty. Also, one thing I actually did deliberately during this is that there's this one guy, I always forget where he is. He's actually to the right of that corner, to the left of that corner that was on the screen for a second there. But notice how he says thank you for coming to me first? I killed him last. So that's taken care of, all the Nebula navies in this area. That doesn't make much sense. Yeah, time to head back to ACDC Area 3 for a while. I can't believe that my house leads to this place, though. It's just so weird. It was a shock to me at first, too. Someone's coming from behind the door. Nebula? It might be the boss of that Navi group we just defeated. They're coming. Oh. It's just you. Searchman! Who'd have thought this area would be hidden here? So it was worth following you after all. You followed me? Dr. Regal asked me to keep an eye on what you were up to. And that's how I managed to find this hidden area. Dr. Regal? That's right, Raika and I are part of Nebula. No way! It's so easy to deceive the likes of you. I need to find a better voice for Searchman. but why? Why Nebula? Power. Dark chips give me even more of it. They're the best. They fill me with the strength. I'm turning into Dracula. I haven't... anyway, sorry about that. He's not gonna fight us because he still has a mission, but we'll be doing that not long from now. I can't believe Searchman and Raikou are in Nebula. And I wonder what mission it is he's talking about. We better report back to Chad. Yeah, you're right. Also, I now firmly believe that Raikou is named after Laika, the first dog in space. Concerning the whole RL translation thing, it's probably not too far-fetched, too. Far-fetched? What, Raikou? Nebula? I see. Why don't you go home and rest today? Okay, but with that, I'm going to end this off here, I guess. Thank you guys for watching, and in part 19, we'll be going home and sleeping because that's what all people his age should do. See you guys then.